Welcome everybody to another video, and this video is going to be just a blind playthrough of Hollow Knight and how I managed throughout the game without looking anything up, at least up to a certain point. And yeah, the gameplay starts at 5 hours into the game, and it's because I was still new to recording, so I didn't have it all down like I do now. So some footage was lost. One thing about the game is that I never actually learned until recently that, you know, there's a charm that you can use to actually pinpoint your location on a map, and I never used it. So I'm always getting lost here. That's why I pull out my map so many times, and why I get turned around a lot. So it's just a thing that happens, and I try to skip all the turning around parts so that way we could just get to kind of the meat of what I was able to accomplish. But yeah, the beginning of Fungal Waste is actually pretty easy. It's really the platforming here that kind of gets me sometimes, because I try to get through the platforming if I think I have a good chance of doing it. So I just go for it, you know, even if I die, which I do a couple times. Where it picks up is right when we enter the Mantis village, and that's when it starts getting a little bit more difficult actually when it comes to combat. Not terribly, but you know, they actually attack with a bit of speed, which took some getting used to. And if you notice when I pull out my map, I had already fought the Mantis Lords at least once. So this is not the first fight, but I'm still new to the fight because I get creamed very fast. And I don't actually have the footage of me beating them, but we get through them. Eventually, you know. Deepnest really flips the ambience to from something pleasant to way creepy. It definitely feels like one of those high level areas that you're not supposed to be in until later in the game. But, you know, there's nothing saying don't go there. So you might as well tread on. The failed tramway spot is such a tricky spot to get through the first time around, or early on I should say, because you just get swarmed by the bugs spitting out bugs, and not only are they tanky, but they're also pretty quick. I like how they set the little spider trap up with the spiders just bursting out of the bug corpses. It's well suited for the creepiness of this biome. All in all, not too tough though. Especially when I found this sweet spot where I can just pogo off them and they can't touch me. Unless I mess it up. Here we save Zoot for the second time. And, what do you call it? As much attitude as it gives us, you know, he's actually pretty memorable to me, at least. Maybe because he's a boss, so he makes it more memorable. But he has the most personality in the game. And then you have someone like Cloth, who is just like super sad and pretty forgettable, to be honest. And it could just be that they don't push any of the story forward, so their dialogue and interacting with them is not all that impactful. And we finally get good enough to make it past these guys. And get our tram ticket.
Go on, Galaka, no chere. Go on, Galaka, no chere.
And then you have the Moss Prophet, who sounds like a raving lunatic.
Go on.
So by this time I have enough geo to do some shopping, and I decided to get some charms, mainly because I need more charms in order to get more notches. And with that tram ticket we make it to the resting grounds. And this is where we first encounter the Dreamers and get our first big kind of piece of information when it comes to the story. But it doesn't really make sense to me what they're saying. Like they're protecting something, but they don't say why. And it sounds like they want to stop the Hollow Knight or the main character, even though I don't even know what he's doing. You know, he's just wandering around Deepnest. Like, what's he doing wrong here? The dream nail was actually kind of disappointing when I first got it. Yeah, just being able to collect essence from trees and things, just... I was expecting more.
Papa nada.
I eventually reached Fog Canyon, where it feels like, well, and sounds like you're like underwater or something. And there's floating jellyfish all around. Going in here, we find the familiar shaman decorations, where we usually find a little guy offering us something, but there's no little guy here. The real question is, are we strong enough to get through whatever's in here and get the reward? And there's only one way to find out. And after a bit of wandering around and beating up lesser bugs, we find her next spell. Green Path is probably the best looking biome in the whole game. It is just so vibrant, serene, and mysterious. And just has so much detail. One thing about reaching the City of Tears is that you start encountering these kind of more intelligent looking bugs, right, that look like guards. They wield weapons and stuff, and yet they don't ever talk to the Hollow Knight. They don't ever, yeah, they just automatically attack him. Like, why? What did he do wrong here? Is he trespassing? I mean, come on, he's just a little guy wandering around. What's the deal? think in the Soul Sanctum they kind of hinted at uncovering secrets and being able to manipulate soul really well. Yet the enemies you encounter here can only teleport and throw like energy orbs at you. That's all they were able to discover in their time at the Soul Sanctum. Yeah, shouldn't they have more abilities? I mean, it just seems a little lackluster. Not even close, baby. I find this little spot by accident, and of course it's a gank. But we survive. Barely. And get a little reward. I think the Soul Master's moveset is a little more forgiving than the Mantis Lord's because he actually gives you some breathing room, letting me heal up, which I do a lot in this fight. so unnecessary. Luckily, I was able to beat his phase 2 on the first try. Then we take our third and final spell, and that is the end of part 1 of this playthrough. If you made it this far, consider giving me a like, subscribing. Thank you.